Good morning. My name is Tom. I come to you from Northern Maine. Good afternoon. My name is Tom. I come to you from the great state of Maine. Welcome to my snowmobile. I'm sitting on my snowmobile right now. It's a nice cool afternoon. Sitting out here. I introduced you earlier here to Ruby. She's down on the ground. The new family dog. What a piece of work she is. So it's Wednesday morning right now. You're getting this, and I'm on the road right now for the cabin. Me and the dog will be sitting at the cabin when you're watching this video. I got some projects I want to go up there and work on before it gets too gone by. I've got one fish house that needs a roof, and I got another fish house that needs a skin. So that's my golden plan for my next trip up there is to get a roof. I want to put a steel roof on the fish house that needs a steel roof. The rest of that one is really good. It's just the sun has played havoc with the roof itself. So it's time to put a roof on the fish house. Dog down there digging a massive hole. Well, let's talk about the time of season that it is right now. We're in I don't know what today is. I think today is the 15th, 16th. I don't know where. Somewhere there, June 15th or 16th. Okay, well, it's probably later than that. Probably the 19th by now. I lose track of calendar days. So, what's that mean? Well, for me, that means it's time to start fishing for some white perch. I always start my white perch fishing about the middle of June, right into July. I do like to put 100 white perch in the freezer every summer. And with the boys, that chore has become easier and easier. I don't like to bring home more than 25 or 30 at any one evening because I'm the one that's got to clean them and prepare them and all of that and get them ready for the freezer. So about 30, well, like I said, 25 to 30, that's a pretty good number. Get those taken care of, get them in nice and fresh, and then, especially now that I got more than one boatload of boys at a time that can go out. So I'll come back, drop off a set of boys, pick another night, pick up another set of boys, and out we go again for another day of fishing. And that goes along with kind of what we were talking about last Sunday, the price of groceries or the price of food. I know not everyone has access to lakes and ponds and all of that. But what you do have access to is now I can only speak for the grocery stores that are in our state. So I can't speak for any grocery store that's in the middle of a city or anything like that. So you guys have to rely on your own knowledge there, because that's the only small grocery stores are the ones I try to go in. I don't like big stores at all if I can avoid it. I've got a couple of little small grocery stores on the way to the cabin that I do like to stop at. And we're going to talk about is the vegetable department. In this state, if you go in a grocery store, all of the vegetables are around the outside of the store. There's nothing down the middle aisles. The middle aisles are saved for all the man-made foods. So for me, most of the time, a trip into the grocery store is just to where the vegetables are, because I got no use for the other food that's in there. It's too expensive, and especially nowadays where everybody is saying how expensive groceries are. One of the ways to save is to stay out of those aisles. Get in that outside aisle where the vegetables are. Get yourself a turnip. Get yourself a bag of carrots. Get yourself some potatoes and onions. Stuff you need to peel. In them same aisles, if you haven't had it before, they have all kinds of goodies. like radishes and stuff like that. Give a little bite to a salad you put together, or any kind of meal that you put together. Like I said, 2 items are not far from me in my kitchen: a paring knife and a peeler. I peel very little. I don't peel potatoes at all. I find that if you're peeling a potato, you got money to burn, because the potato skin is where all the vitamins are, and the potato skin is still part of the potato. If it was a baked potato, you would eat it. Bake it in the oven, you would eat that skin. So why? Because you boil it and turn it into mashed potatoes, you throw the skin away. That's like throwing money away. I don't throw money away. I don't burn money, and I don't throw it away. If I got money to throw away on a potato peel and it's going in the trash, that means I can buy some primers for my rifles. We'll just save up enough potato skins for that. Stay in that aisle outside that's got all all that stuff that you've got to wash off and cook and peel and all that, and you will see your grocery bill drop a little bit. Got to stay out of that. Same thing in the bread aisle. I never would have dreamed that a loaf of bread costs as much as it costs now. Well, there's ways around that too. Buy half your bread. The other half, make some of this camp bread. You've seen in my recipes, in my cooking playlist in here, the recipes on making some camp bread. Real simple to do. Mix and match it. One day have some camp bread at home. Next day have a piece from the grocery store. If you want to cut down on your grocery bill, that's one way to do it. I got a pot of beans in there right now. One of my favorite sandwiches is a cold bean sandwich. But if you're making that camp bread, you can make that camp bread and you can cut it out and turn that crust into a bowl, and throw your beans in there and put them in the microwave for 30 seconds or a minute. Get them topped off nice and warm. And that's a meal and a half. That kind of cooking will definitely save you money at the grocery store. And not only that, it'll bring you back into touch with your groceries and where they come from. That's what kind of got steered away there for a minute. The other thing I like there's a couple of stores that I like. One, I won't buy any meat at all, because the prices are just too high all the time. There's another one that I like to stop at on my way up through, because you never know what they've got on sale. First thing I do when I go, especially on my trip home, if it's my trip home, I will stop there and see what they have on sale. And if it's an item that is a really good deal on sale, then I will buy extra, bring it home, downsize it, and get it in the freezer. And that's usually in the chicken department, because the chicken cooks up fairly easy at the cabin, either on the campfire or out on a grill or whatever. But just some ways of keeping the cost down. I got a dog down here, Ruby. She is having a blast. She loves being outdoors, just plain loves it. Ain't that right, Ruby? Huh? Well, tomorrow's Father's Day. And first thing in the morning, I'm going down back with the 357 about 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going to wish myself a happy Father's Day tomorrow morning. The reality of it is that Monday morning, let's say today's Saturday, so Monday morning, day after tomorrow, I put out a video on Patreon. And Aaron from Australia, he really likes it when I bring out the guns and shoot them. I also got another fella up in up in Canada, Jason. Good morning, Jason. He's right across the border as the crow flies. I'm not. I think he likes it when I can shoot too. I'm not sure he likes it as much as Aaron does in Australia. But old Aaron, hello Aaron, you got a treat coming. So I've got some 38s that I just made up, and I want to try them out. I got a really good deal on eBay for some wheel weights. So a week ago, them wheel weights was wheel weights. 2 days after they got here, I smelted them down, and it was 12 pounds of wheel weights. So a week after, 2 days after they got here, I smelted them down, added some additives to them to make them harder, and turned that 12 pounds of wheel weights into 38 round nose. 38 round nose for my 38s. So I've made up 50 of them so far, and I'm going to go shoot those 50, see how they do, and if I like them, then I will continue on and make more. I made 450 of them the day I turned those out. So if I don't like how they shoot, I'm going to smelt them down again. I'm going to add some more hardener to them, and then I'm going to pour them again if that's what it takes. Hardener means just adding some linotype or adding some what's called hardball. There's another, it's a lead out there that's called hardball. It's a great way to harden up your own lead. So we'll see. We'll see. My Bernal hardness, yeah, I know we're getting all over the place. Wasn't quite as high as I like. So I'd like to make it higher if I can. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how it shoots. And if they shoot great, then I'll shoot the whole 450 of them and just plain have a good time with them. So anyways, a part of one of the skills that I have is being able to turn out my own bullets. And you'll know if you follow this channel at all, skills, 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 and more skills. I don't care if it's cooking skills to shooting skills, 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 skills. Learn to cook, learn to feed yourself, learn, and don't stop learning. I can't drive that home enough with you guys or with my grandsons to boot. So, skills, skills, skills. I just see a world that we're throwing away our skills. Throwing away our skills because there's someone else that can do it. I believe one thing. If one man can do it, then so can I. And if I can go to my grave and convince as many people as I can, I don't care if you're a woman or if you're a guy or if you're a child, if I can push one thing, if someone else can do it, so can you. That's how I was raised. That's the way it used to be. That's the way it used to be. There was none of this. I can't do it. We always taught that we can do it, and about everybody gave it a shot. If you can't do it after you try, then we all agree with you. You can't do it. But until you try, you've got nothing to stand on in my world, so. Go get some skills. Go get some cooking skills and save yourself some money. You'll be surprised at what you can learn to cook and how good it is. Alrighty, I'm going in to get my coffee. I had my hands full, so I couldn't lug out coffee. Come here. I had my hands full with Ruby. Say hi, Ruby. Ruby is our new dog, and she's a beautiful dog. She's doing really well. Doing really well. She likes to lick my head off. Is that right, Ruby? Say hi. Say hi, Ruby. Say hi, Ruby. Say hi, Ruby. Say hi, Ruby. Alrighty, you guys. I'll see you later. We'll be at camp before you know it.